Copwatch, policing the police every single day.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Copwatch, and I'm way out of the closet fighting police corruption, and it's been a long time since I made a video. I'm finally out skating again, which I need to do way more often. But yeah, it's since I've talked to you guys last, man, it's been a long time. A lot of corruption. So one of the main stories we're working on is Charlotte County Sheriff Deputy James White was busted, put on paid leave. Back last year, he was on paid leave for like 10 plus months because he had an illegal shipment of steroids sent to his house. We have found out he actually had it sent to his uncle's house and tried to blame it on his uncle. We heard it's ruining the family. We've heard they're looking at a divorce. But they finally fired him. And then what's wild, it's not because of the steroids. We come to find out that unbeknownst to us, last year, Charlotte County Sheriff Bill Prummell advanced his son through nepotism to detective. And everybody was out partying in Punta Gorda. And James White was there with them. And he's on steroids, he's wasted, he's a bodybuilder. And in public, he pulled out his penis and balls for everyone to see on the street and in the bar. And if me or you would have done that, we'd be on the sex offender list, we'd be in jail, we would have had a fine, all of that. Since he was with, by the way, regular public saw it, so did the cops there. The deputies that were with him, including Bill Prummell's son. So, instead of them turning him in at that time last year, nobody said anything. Until this year, about a month or two ago, they are investigating the illegal steroid use, and they found out what he did last year with the penis being out. So I've hammered him. Ken Lovejoy on his radio show has hammered him. The paper has hammered them. The IA is closed on the penis thing. And once it's closed, once it's given to them, they have to give it to us unredacted. And they are not. It is 85% redacted. And they are saying the reason is because it's still under investigation, which is bullshit. It's already sustained. Once it's sustained, we get it unredacted. We know and believe they are redacting it. This is what they say too, because now they're investigating why nobody else was charged, because everybody saw the lewd and lascivious sex act, including Bill Prummell's son, and nobody was charged. Because when a cop sees a law being broken, he has to report it or deal with it right there. They did not. They covered it up. And sure enough, Jacob Hawkins, who is my ex-friend and arch enemy now because we hate each other's guts, because I believe in the Constitution and your rights, and all the crap that he told me over 2 years would make your skin curl if you believe in the Constitution and our rights. He's a detective. I said, man, I bet he was there. We finally got a document that said he was there. He's the first one that they've unredacted and thrown under the bus. So this is very interesting. So Rodriguez is the investigator on that document we got. And by the way, 85% redacted again. They're still covering up that Bill Prummell's son was there. Who they advanced to detective through nepotism. By the way, you're watching me skating and you can see it is a lot of rain, man. We are flooding. Holy crap. Anyways, so I have found through another investigation that Charlotte County Sheriff Bill Prummell is such up a fucking crick with this bullshit on the on this stuff that he is altering documents. Because since I talked to you guys last, we found out Carl Steele a couple months ago was out late at night. He was in Port Charlotte, 4 a.m. in the morning, and he was speeding 35 miles per hour. He was going probably 70, and without his emergency lights on. The victim that contacted me said that he thought it was a drunk driver, so he said tried turning left to get on a side street to get away from him. Carl Steele was so wasted or whatever, we don't know yet, because what they're asking to get documents on this is outrageous. He hit him so hard he slid Carl Steele, almost totaled the car out, put this citizen in the hospital. With the hospital, the car, the bills are up to, I think he said $30,000 already. And they actually charged the victim that he hit. Carl Steele actually hit the guy and then gave that guy a ticket saying he didn't avoid him. The citizen said that no lights were on. He thought it was a drunk driver. At the last minute, Carl Steele turned his emergency lights on when he realized he was going to hit the guy. And when you look at the map how he hit him, it's almost on purpose. It's bizarre. So anyway, so he turned his lights on at the last minute, and he hit him. He slid like another 200 feet, ended up in somebody's front yard. And to prove how corrupt this case is, he wanted the CAD report for that night for Carl Steele. Just 1 day of him being on duty, of all the calls that he called in. And just for Carl Steele for that night, they want $1,600 for 1 day's worth of CAD reports. That's all the calls and lookups that he made. So something's really fucked up. So in another investigation, all these investigations relate. In another investigation, we were driving down our road to get to work the other morning, and we have a cop that lives down the road, a couple streets away. He used to be a Punta Gorda cop, then he was a Charlotte County cop, and now he's a DeSoto cop. He was off duty. His cop car was in the driveway. He was coming out with his truck. He did not see us. We honked, and he proceeded to stalk us, harass us. He broke the law, ran through a stop sign trying to catch us. We have cameras all over the car, 2 in the car, and a handheld, cell phones, all that. So it's all documented. And so he ran a stop sign. Then at the next street, he came up on a 2-lane street. He came up alongside us trying to intimidate us. I turned right under Burnt Store. Luckily nobody was coming because he was right where I couldn't see. I pulled up enough where I could see and I left. Then he kept following us just off to the right behind us. And when the speed changed, I slowed down to see if he would go ahead of me. He would not. He slowed down again. So I waited till the last minute at 41. And I broke off to the left, and luckily he did not follow us. So, got it all on video. Sent it to the DeSoto County Sheriff. And that's when it all started going downhill. The DeSoto County Sheriff contacted us back, said we can only take this IA complaint, internal investigations. I recommend, if you are in the right, everybody needs to file an internal investigation complaint. If you do not file it and they are in the wrong, the cops will never investigate themselves, period. You have to file it. So I filed it. That was harassment, intimidation, broke the law. So I sent the whole story and the video to the sheriff in DeSoto. And he said, we can't do anything unless you come here to DeSoto County, leave my county, Charlotte, and go to DeSoto and swear out a complaint. I've been doing this for 5 years. That's absolute bullshit. In Florida, by statute, you can email it, you can call it in, you can fill out a form, you can do it anonymously. We believe it's a trap. So I'm not going there. We're trying to figure out how to, actually right now, we're trying to get his general order on how they deal with internal affairs. They have not given it to us yet. After he did this, I freaked out and I started investigating everybody Southwest Florida, which I knew most of them, like I said, will let you call, email, fill out a paperwork, all that shit. All of that, man. Anything. They have to take it and investigate it. Period. So I got the general order from Fort Myers Police, Northport, Florida Police, and Charlotte County Sheriff. I'm reading Fort Myers. Oh, it's awesome, man. Lots of investigations. When we can get the IA reports unredacted, all of that. It's all in there. Really good, Fort Myers Police. General orders on internal affairs. When it came to Northport, I have to say, pretty much same thing. Excellent general orders. All the right stuff is in there, including accidents. Both of them, by the way, this is where it relates to Carl Steele. Both of them deal with accidents. Because if a cop gets in an accident, they want to know why big time. Was he fucking jerking his dick? Was he looking at porno on the laptop? Playing with his radio, his phone, you know, whatever. Both of those are in Northport and Fort Myers Police. We get Charlotte County Sheriffs, and it was really short, 9 pages. The other ones were like 18 to 21. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? We start reading it. Come to find out, it was only like 2 or 3 weeks ago they released the, that's when Carl Steele hit the guy and charged the guy, not himself. It was Carl Steele's fault, not the citizen. That's when that happened. And then also, that's when the penis investigation was broke open. We think, we're still not sure who's the one that called it in. But anyways, like I said, we found out Jacob Hawkins is involved. But they redacted it so we can't find out what he lied about on when he knew and when he knew it. What he knew and when he knew it. So here's the thing, in the Charlotte County Sheriff General Orders, he just 2 to 3 weeks ago altered the document. It literally says it on there, revised. And what he took out was the part that talks about how they investigate car accidents, and when, and if, and why, and what can be redacted when people ask for IA complaints. It is fucked up. Big time. Proof that something's going on is on LEOAFFAIRS chat room for Charlotte County Sheriff. I highly recommend everybody look it up. You can go there and chat anonymously If you really want to be anonymous, I highly recommend using Tor browser. That makes it look like you're from Sweden or Switzerland. So anyways, even in there right now today, they mentioned that shit is hitting the fan. The corruption is just so bad because what we're finding out, James White, that got the illegal steroids, from what we're figuring out, was selling the illegal steroids to other people at the sheriff's office. So that's bad. In fact, the guy that used to run internal investigations, who wasn't bad, but he never charged anybody, he is gone. And I asked somebody that used to work there, I said, was he friends with James White? He said, yes. He said, that's why he's gone. He's not in internal affairs anymore. So there is some major shit happening. Plus, like I said, a huge cover-up with all the sheriff cops and deputies and detectives that were there. And nobody said anything about this guy being a whack job showing his penis in the bar. That's a violation of law. If I was there and showed my penis in a bar, they would tase my penis, beat me, fine me, jail me. I'd be a sexual offender, all of that. None of that was done. None. So that is a violation of law. We heard one good thing in the chat room today. This should hopefully be enough to take his corrupt ass down. Because he's gonna be running in 2 years. Hopefully this is enough to finally take his corrupt ass out. Carl Steele, we're still trying to. The guy that got the ticket was given a ticket that he didn't get out of the way soon enough. That's bullshit. He pled not guilty. He's taking it to court. Every right to. It was given to him falsely on lies. They're covering this thing up big time. That was a Commander's brand new Ford Suburban, loaded, had all the gadgets in there, smashed. They're even trying to say they didn't get good pictures because it was too dark. Oh my God. You got one of your lead commanders smashed his fucking car illegally because of stupidity, and you don't got good pictures. It's just fucking sickening, man. We know there's other stuff going on too, because it's weird what's happening. Since I talked to you, since I talked to you guys last, there's a homeless guy in town named Rodney McGee, and he was at the YMCA smoking a cigarette. It's a park that's connected with the YMCA. Public park. Some idiot said, you can't smoke here. He said, yes, I can. He goes, my kid's going to breathe it. He said, that's not my fault. Take your kid away. He was illegally trespassed for that. After that, he was pissed, which he should be. He went to the sidewalk in front of there and protested for illegally being trespassed. So did some other people. He was arrested on lies. So there's false arrest, false imprisonment. He's a homeless guy who lives in his car. They illegally took us home. There's no reason they had to do that, and they did, because they know it costs hundreds. He was released the next day on no bond. So that case is really fucked up. Then it gets worse. He was on the other side of the street with his truck, and he's sitting there protesting. He has every right to. And a cop came up because he opened his door. He was off the road 4 feet. Because he opened his door, cop gave him a ticket for impeding traffic, which was bullshit. There was no traffic. Also, I'm going to say it again. The Charlotte County Sheriff has no car camera, body camera or court camera still, because they're so corrupt. It's their word against yours. And that's exactly what happened again. It was the cop's word against Rodney. So now he got a $150 ticket for that. It's sick, man. It is collusion, conspiracy, RICO. We've heard from other people that basically what's going on, even though the YMCA was meant for people like Rodney to get his life together, work out, get a shower, go swimming, hopefully get a job again, but yet they don't want him there because we've heard rumor it's government officials, cops, and sheriffs that have taken over the gym. They don't want any so-called bums there. So they're doing whatever they can to illegally get rid of them. But here's where we know something is going on in the sheriff's department, because the same guy that illegally trespassed him a week or two ago came back, went up to Rodney's truck, and said, in 10 days you have to appeal your trespass. Here's the appeal paper. It's 10 days. You got to do it today. And Rodney said to the guy, I've never seen this in my life. He goes, I agree. Our opinion is the Charlotte County Sheriff reamed him a new asshole because all of this has been documented. One of the videos on another guy's website here hit 118,000 views. This story went big time. So we think that's what happened. He got his ass reamed for illegally trespassing him and causing all this nightmare. Because Rodney, here's the neat thing with Rodney, his hobby is studying law and doing pro se in the court. And he's got enough where he could sue the hell out of him, especially on that illegal arrest. Unbelievable. And the illegal taking of his home, which was his truck. So all on his own, pro se. When they start seeing dollar signs, I'm sure a lawyer would like to help get in to help him get it. But that's why they're harassing him. And then it actually gets better. That same cop came back again this past week and gave him his papers for discovery on one of the cases. Rodney said again, I've never ever seen this in my 30 years of life in Charlotte County. And the cop said, either have I. It's on video. So there again, the sheriff knows he fucked up. He's got some morons there that are doing stuff that's going to get him sued again, because he's got multiple lawsuits against him right now. I did not know this, but I think it was 2012. He got sued, the sheriff's office got sued, and somebody won $1.2 million. They settled out of court because if they would have went to court, it would have been even more. So he's getting sued left and right. We're nowhere making a difference because the sheriff illegally has taken down the big YouTube site, 70 million views, 4 million views a month, 50,000 subscribers. I made no money, illegally took that down. Then I had the backup channel, 13 million views, 1 million views a month, 13,000 subscribers, and he took that down illegally. I don't know what he told YouTube, but I'm sure it's because of my IP. I'm now getting shadow banned from hell. If you don't know what shadow ban is, it's happening to a lot of people fighting tyranny in America. It's where they don't let your stuff be seen on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. They won't let people see it. Shadow banning. So when I used to get thousands, millions of views on a video, I am down to 20. It is mind-blowing. I had a friend this morning that told me, and I need to do it, to call up some of these big radio shows like Alex Jones and tell them what's going on. This is ridiculous. Suppression of the truth. Unbelievable. Very, very sad. So, that's just some of the stuff that's going on. I mean, I could go on forever, but it's so freaking hot. I don't know. Now that everybody's got cameras and they're finally starting to charge cops, even today there's multiple stories in the papers where they're finally charging cops with crimes. Like executing black people, illegal arrest. There's a lady that they just pulled over that the cops literally flipped a coin if they should charge her and arrest her. And it was all on body camera. Here's a good part, they quit. Here's the bad part, they are not charged. They literally illegally kidnapped somebody on the flip of a coin and they're not charged. It's disgusting. Now, like I said, multiple cops charged for killing black people. Cop pulled over a black kid in a car. Black kid ran, didn't have a gun, shot him dead in the back. Execution. He's charged. Another, I forget what it was. Another white cop. I'm getting my phone out here so I can see the stories. Another white cop did something to a black guy again. If I can get it. Alright. Actually, I don't see this story, but there's other stories. We got a Florida cop, sex addict cop, who just got found guilty for raping a victim that he dealt with earlier that night. Yep, that's the white cop that executed the black guy. He's charged. Because people got cameras. We got a white cop told some black kids that were recording him that I killed motherfuckers. Said that to the black kids. When he realized they were recording, harassed them and stalked them. We got another story out of Northport. The records lady there is really fucked up. She makes $100 grand. She has multiple workers. The Punta Gorda Records Department, the Northport Police Records Department does pretty much fine with their records. They get them to you in by law in time. But this lady that runs records for for Northport government is thousands of records behind on records request. She makes $100 grand, and they actually kind of crucified her in their Northport meeting. And the sad part is, half crucified her for not doing her job, which they could be sued for multiple times, big time. Their own attorney said that. And the other half said, give her a chance. Oh my God. There are thousands of requests behind. I think they're a bunch of lazy ass bastards. From what we heard, they're maybe doing we heard like 7 or 8 requests a day, which is nothing. It's freaking disgusting. Anyways, then they didn't fire her. We all thought they were going to fire her in the meeting. It's all on video. And they did not fire her. So that's sad. Oh man, there's got to be more. There is more stories. Oh, that was sad. There's a guy that was growing 10 pot plants out in the woods. The cops saw it. One guy gave up. The other one didn't. And he hid in the bushes in the woods. So the cops got a hold of the DNR up there. You know, people that deal with the woods. They got a bulldozer. They started going through the woods with the bulldozer. And they say they did it on accident, but I don't believe it because they're sadists. Because the guy had 10 pot plants. They ran over him with the bulldozer and killed him. It is completely out of control now. I mean, just, that's unbelievable. What else we got? Oh, you got another one. Another white cop on the scene of some incident, on camera, called a bunch of black people sitting on their porch, Alabama porch monkeys. He said, "We have the Alabama porch monkeys under control." Said it on video. He was fired for his racism. And then, of course, he appealed. You know, he appealed with the white cops, white racists, and of course, they investigated themselves and gave him his job back. It's just unbelievable, man. Sad. What else? Oh, man, that was good. Netflix is doing a story on the forced confessions from people. How if you break them down long enough, you can make them say and do whatever you want. It's really disgusting. And somebody wanted me to do a video, and I need to do it. Because at least Facebook and Twitter is picking up a little bit. I found out with Twitter, you can put videos on there now, 20 minutes, 2 minutes and 20 seconds long. Apparently I was doing the right thing, because now the sheriff put every single video that they could find on their site now, because I tagged the sheriff. I thought that was kind of funny, hilarious. Yeah, these are forced confessions. It's insane. Oh, so somebody wanted me to do the story on how when you look at the general orders for internal investigations and you look at all the rights that the cops and the sheriff deputies have, and you compare it to what they do to a normal person, and it's disgusting. It is outrageous. They are above the law. It is mind-blowing, all the rights they have. Questioning witness, they get time to get their story right. I mean, just fucking bullshit. Especially when you know what they do to us. Intimidate, badger, oh my God. Jail you. It's insane, man. So I need to do a screen reader in the near future. All the rights that a cop got. It's just, it's disgusting. And I had a point to that. I already forgot it. That's sad. So what else do we got? If the stupid ass phone will turn on. Oh, that was insane. A lot of you guys already know that these dogs that the cops are using is literally what the Nazi Germany did and the slave owners from the South used to do. And I'm really realizing how dangerous it is. First of all, the UN said they should stop using the dog, which I agree. It's an uncontrolled weapon. If a cop had a gun that was uncontrolled, he couldn't have it. But a dog you can. And proof of that is that it says on the cop car where a dog is, warning. Big red letters. Why would you put that if you are supposedly controlling the dog? So the reason why I mention this, we have tons of stories. Now the cops are getting the body camera. We have tons of stories of the cop's dog getting loose and eating people that had nothing to do with it. There's a story that just came out. There's a guy in the area where they're searching for somebody. They told somebody that has nothing to do with it, lay down on the ground, and in case we have to shoot the bad guy or some bullshit. The guy laid down on the ground. The dog thought it was the bad guy and started eating the guy. It was unfucking real, on video. It's sad, man. And you know, they say they can control it, but yet in all the videos, they keep telling the dog, release, release, release. And the dog doesn't release, he just keeps eating and ripping at the arm. It's very, very sad. Like I said, if the cops wore a gun that had big red letters on it, warning, they would be sued to hell. I think they need to be sued to hell for this uncontrolled weapon called a dog. You know, when they say that the dog is a policeman, then sue the fuck out of the dog for, what the hell is that? Not assault. It's the other word where excessive force. Sue the hell out of the dog for excessive force. So, I need to do a video on that. Where is it? What else do we got? No, not that. Oh, God. Oh, man, God, there's so many stories. It's sad, man. Oi, shit. There was a guy that had autism in his own backyard, and the cops were called because I guess the autistic kid was throwing rocks in somebody else's backyard. Didn't hit anybody, just throwing them in the backyard. The mom was home. The cops came back there without asking mom and started treating the kid like he was on drugs. And even if he was on drugs, they shouldn't have did this shit to him. Because the kid was autistic, he kept saying, my mom's in the house, can I get her? They did a drug test on him. Of course he's going to fail. He's autistic, you fuckers. They beat him, tased him, handcuffed him, and arrested him. These fuckers can't even tell what autism is. That brings me to the next subject. Baker Act. Florida is going crazy with Baker Act. We call it Baker Act for profit. We think this is what's going on. If they don't think that they can legally put you in jail, they will say you're mental and Baker Act to you and put you in a psych ward for 3 days at $1,000 a day. You have to pay it. It's fucking bullshit. You're literally getting a chemical lobotomy. They're giving you drugs. You lose all your rights. So does your family. And it's out of control in Florida and Charlotte County. We have people that are at the place where they bring them for Baker Act and they're just blown away at the people they're bringing them that should not even be there. It is disgusting. And they're trying to cover their ass lately a lot in the paper and on their propaganda that they're doing it for their safety. Bullshit. Bullshit big time, man. So that was another topic. There was another one after that. What's, oh God, this was bad. Okay, the sheriff, Charlotte County Sheriff Bill Prummell's agency is so goddamn corrupt. People are quitting, retiring, getting fired, left and right. If Copwatch wasn't here, this shit wouldn't be happening. Hands down, period. Been here for 5 years. And proof of that, there's Northport Copwatch, and since she started, because the corruption happened to her, I think 20 people are gone from their little department up there. Anyways, they are heavily into propaganda now, literally. I swear they must have got the handbook of propaganda from Hitler. It is unfucking real. They have like 3 or 4 department people working in the department. It's mind-blowing. They just made a video to try to get people to get a job there. And the song that they did in the video is "Everything is Awesome." And it's not. In fact, I just talked to somebody that used to work there that they illegally got fired because they were going to turn them in for corruption. And she agrees, it's not fucking awesome. It's really fucked up corrupt. So they made this video, "Everything is Awesome," and it is far from it. Also, I need to remind you constantly, they are criminals in multiple ways. The other way that they're criminals is that through pay, benefits, and retirement, they are robbing you blind, man. And if you want proof of that, walk up to one of them someday and say, "Why can't I have what you got? If so fair, equal, and just, why can't I have what you got?" The reason is because it's unrealistic, unsustainable. Detroit is proof. Already went bankrupt because of the firefighters, cops, and the government workers stole so much money from the people. It's now happening in New York, Chicago, California, etc. It will happen here too. Our little piece of shit place budget is already over $1 billion. It is literally like a socialist utopia here. It's disgusting. And we believe that that's one reason why all the retirees come here, is because they are socialists. They stole the money from the people. They moved from where they're at, the high tax states, because they wanted to keep their money that they stole from the people. And now those people in the high tax states where they left, they won't get their tax money back in taxes because the fucker that ripped off their money left. Now these socialist fascists want a police state here so they can keep their money. And it's sad. It's really sad. It's disgusting. Big time. Unbelievable. We're the only country on the planet that has health care for only the older people and supposedly poor. And I'm not saying I want health care. I want freedom capitalism. Because our government got involved with health care, the costs are outrageous and out of control. We can't even afford Obamacare. Trump has not got rid of it fully. Our deduction would be $10,000. That's basically, you're financing your own medical anyways. It's disgusting, man. Only country on the planet that does this fucked up shit. So all these old fuckers that had freedom are now giving a socialist fascist tyranny. It is unbelievable, man. They had freedom and now they want socialist fascist tyranny. I understand why some of these kids are rising up. They don't understand it's socialist fascist tyranny that did this to us. We used to be free. This wasn't always like this. Are you kidding me? I know 70-year-olds and 80-year-olds, they remember what it was like to be free. You didn't have to get a goddamn permit for everything. You weren't taxed to hell. Shit was affordable, including healthcare at one time. And then they got greedy. They said capitalism sucks. And then they started switching it into socialist fascism. It's disgusting, man. Really, really sad. So, I think I'm worn out here, man. It is freaking hot. I can't talk anymore. I gotta drink some water. But that is my rant while skating for the day in Charlotte County, Florida, in Sheriff Bill Prummell's unconstitutional military police state where everything's illegal and everybody goes to jail for everything. Because policing for profit is job one.
Police use who may want to retaliate against him physically.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Copwatch, and I just wanted you to know that I am using this stuff under fair use. And also remember to like and subscribe this channel. Also too, keep in mind I do not make any money on YouTube. This is 5 hours work a day, you know, fighting for freedom. And you can donate with PayPal and Patreon. I just want you to think about this. If everybody gives to PayPal and Patreon, Patreon is every month. Actually, PayPal you can do every month. I have 12,000 subscribers. If everybody gives, I can quit my regular job and go full-time investigations on Charlotte County and possibly even more and beyond. So just keep that in mind. If everybody helps out, I can go full-time doing this. Thanks.